good to see all of you. Are we waiting for more? I have your attention. So this night is extraordinary. It's too loud. Better? It's extraordinary. So as Matt mentioned, I founded Sound Effects 2 years ago, in 2012, and I founded this organization for one specific purpose. It was to address a critical breakdown in our progress in the war against cancer. And I know you guys out there saying, we have a breakdown? We do? We do. And the biotech industry is consumed with this breakdown. We even have a name for it. We call it the Valley of Death. Correct? And the Valley of Death represents a funding gap that stops entrepreneurs from developing a great idea into a real clinical solution. And you may ask yourself, well, how can we have this funding gap around a very, very important issue? Well, we have it. And the reason is because the investment community sees biotech ventures as very, very risky. And they are risky. 90% of biotech ventures fail. It's that bad. But as a consequence, less and less great ideas are being funded. And then what happens is they fall in the valley of death. And the impact is huge because humanity gets robbed every single time we lose a potential treatment for someone who could potentially use it who suffers from cancer. But tonight, it's really extraordinary because this conversation is now moving beyond the biotech industry. Because I'm here having this conversation with you all. And this is a diverse crowd, I can imagine. And I'm wondering who is in this room beyond the biotech industry. I know we have our cancer entrepreneurs in here. What about our cancer researchers? Are there cancer researchers here or clinicians? Show of hands. I don't see them. What about our artists, our musical artists, our entertainers, our television personalities? There may even be some athletes in here, finance people, investors. It's a diverse group. I know you're out there. So this is why tonight is really special. But who are the people who really want to see progress when it comes to cancer treatment and survival? Show of hands. I'm imagining that's everybody here. I'm imagining this is our crowd. And you're in the right place. Because Sound Effects exists to transform how the war on cancer is fought and financed. It's our mission to bridge that valley of death so that more cancer treatments can get to those in need and they do not fall in the valley of death. As some of you who know me, I'm a cancer researcher by training. I trained at the National Cancer Institute, and my laboratory developed a novel DNA treatment for ovarian cancer, one of the deadliest cancers for women worldwide. And that discovery became my passion. I left the lab, I became an entrepreneur in hopes of developing this discovery for women into a real solution for women who suffer from ovarian cancer. And what happened is we suddenly found ourselves falling in the valley of death. That work disappeared. And we will never know if it would ever help anybody, any woman who suffers from ovarian cancer. And so this is not just my story. This is the story for how the war on cancer is going for us. The U.S. spends billions annually on cancer research for a cure. In fact, we've been doing this for 4 decades, 4.5, since Nixon declared war on cancer. And let's be straight, there's no cure. And let's be straight, what we do have is phenomenal cancer research, and I can attest to that. What we do have are thousands of groundbreaking treatments, many of which fall in the valley of death and never get realized. What we do have are treatment strategies for cancer that have not fundamentally changed over the last 4 decades. I'm talking about chemotherapy. We still use that as a first line of treatment in cancer. What we do have are 14.5 million Americans with a history of cancer today, and that number is rising to 19 million in 2024. We are not winning our war on cancer, and Sound Effects is changing this. We specifically support entrepreneurs who have cures and solutions in their hand. We specifically have created a crowdfunding approach to bridge that valley of death. And in doing so, we have empowered and enabled you to determine where you want your money to go. So before Sound Effects, which was June 1st, if you wanted to support the war on cancer, you donated to research. With Sound Effects, you can now donate to an entrepreneur of your choice, and you have a say in what you want to see happen. And this has never happened before. This is a new reality. It's a new day. And I'm very, very proud of our effort. And so I'd like to demonstrate our website as it's presented up here. It's soundeffectslife.org. Sound Effects transforms cancer research discoveries into groundbreaking medicine through the power and passion of people and music. Band together, fight cancer, make a sound effect. So Sound Effect aligns with musical artists who care about our mission and want to help us bridge that valley of death. And Sound Effect declares that music is our metaphorical torch, and this is how we reach the crowd. So what I'd like to do is demonstrate how we work, what we have to offer and how we work. So if you scroll down, you can see we have musical artists, 3 musical artists featured on our portal, and we have 4 cancer-fighting crowdfunding campaigns, of which 3 entrepreneurs will be featured here tonight, and you will have the opportunity to meet and have FaceTime with them. And in addition, one of our featured artists, Tess Druckenmiller, will be performing this evening. So before I bring them up, I want to demonstrate how we work. And I'm going to go through one of our campaigns. So this particular campaign is called Quitting Smoking is Getting Easier by Bob Lincoln. It's not opening up. Not sure what happened. But in any case, so when you open up the campaign, you will be able to see a video of Bob talking about, thank you, talking about his novel treatment to help people stop smoking. And you will also be able to read about his campaign. You will be able to read about Bob and his team. You will be able to access resources around that campaign. Now we have an internet down. And what happens is, if Bob, for example, wants to raise $500,000 to move his treatment into the clinic, and if you want to support Bob, you can make a pledge. And there are various levels of pledges at various dollar amounts. And some of our pledges, you will get a reward from our featured musicians. So for example, in Bob's campaign, Tess Druckenmiller is supporting that campaign, and she offers rewards and special experiences for your contribution to Bob's campaign. Alternatively, Bob has offered a number of rewards and contributions and special experiences that are only through this particular campaign. And so what happens is, when you make a contribution to one of our cancer fighting campaigns, your dollar first goes through sound effects as a donation, as a tax-deductible donation. We then take your dollar and we pass it on to that campaign of your choice. The sound effects is a 501c3. Once you contribute it, this becomes the mechanism of how you can contribute or donate to an entrepreneur. And our crowdfunding portal is Get What You Raise, which means whatever Bob raises, he keeps. There are no returns, whether or not the goal has been met or been superseded. So, what happens once Bob raises his money, for example, sound effects takes a 10% administrative fee, and what we do with that money is we help build and create these campaigns, which means we help with content, video, marketing, social media, traditional media, whatever it takes to reach those funding goals so that these entrepreneurs can focus at the front line of the cancer battle. So, with no further ado, I want to bring up our entrepreneurs, and they are all each going to give a short spiel about their campaigns, and then afterwards, you will have a chance to talk with them and interact with them. There are also computers, and you can also bring it up on your phones, that you can play with the website, and you can crowdfund right here, right now. There's a computer back in the VIP area, and start the process. And that's our goal, is to actually get the crowd involved in what we're doing. So let's begin with Bob Linke, leading Quitting Smoking is Getting Easier. I'm going to bring you all up, okay? Gita Pedersen. The right answer to your treatment is in your RNA. And then Lou Bender, over here. The Tuminator finds and kills cancer cells. So, I'm going to hand it to Bob.
Thank you, Bob. Good evening. Thanks so much for coming out to support Sound Effects Kickoff Gala tonight. My name is Bob Linke. I'm the CEO of Barrier Therapeutics. We are a specialty pharma company based in the Boston area, and we're developing a new way to help people quit smoking. It's a combination drug. And we're really pleased to be working with Mona to help people, and our goal is to help people quit smoking. Again, we're pleased to work with Mona and her team on our campaign, which is Quitting Smoking is Getting Easier. And Barrier is on a mission to help people quit smoking, because it's a devastating disease. One of the most deadly in the cancer field. Number one in that list is lung cancer. 90% of the 224,000 diagnoses of lung cancer this year are due to smoking. Lung cancer kills more people, more of our family and friends, than the next three cancers combined: colon, breast, and pancreatic cancer. We need better solutions here. And it's a tremendous economic burden. You and I spend $132 billion a year just treating the diseases related to smoking. We need better answers. We need a better solution to attack this problem. Our work is driven by a tremendous need to help people quit. Over half of the 42 million people in the United States that smoke try to quit every year, but only 16% succeed. Those are pretty bad odds. 1 in 6 succeed. We need better treatments to deal with the disease and fight the #1 killer, cancer killer in America, lung cancer. Let me tell you a little bit about our drug. We're working to develop a better way to help people quit smoking. And it's a combination we call ENB-001. It works by addressing the mechanism in our brain related to stress. It gets out of balance when you're trying to quit. And when it gets out of balance, you start to crave your drug. And what our drug tries to do is help people deal with that craving so you don't relapse and remain abstinent. Our goal with ENB-001 is that we help the 23 million people who try to quit every year actually stay off smoking. We're excited about the potential of our drug because we did some studies in animals where we compared ourselves to the best drug on the market today for smoking cessation, Shantons, rising Shantons, and we were better than that drug in those studies. So we think there's tremendous potential here. We've completed our studies that the FDA has asked us to do. In fact, the FDA will have completed their review of our work tomorrow. And based on that, we'll be moving forward with our phase 1 study in smokers later this summer with the help of Sound Effects through their program here to help us raise capital to fund that study. We need your support to make that journey through the valley of death that Mona described by getting this initial study underway and ultimately demonstrate that ENB-001 can help people quit. We can address the leading cause of death in cancer, lung cancer, and most importantly, save lives. I want to thank you very much for coming out tonight to this kickoff to support Mona in her very innovative way to support entrepreneurs to get our products into the clinic and to patients who need them. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Very interesting drug. Good luck in the clinic. I'm Lou Bender. I'm the CEO of Intensity Therapeutics.